A bittersweet return. Nick Marone's terminal secret threatens his second chance with Brooke. The unexpected comeback. In a stunning development that has shocked fans of The Bold and the Beautiful, Nick Marone has made his dramatic return to Los Angeles after more than a decade away. The charismatic shipping tycoon, portrayed by veteran actor Jack Wagner, arrived in LA in mid-June 2025, immediately setting his sights on rekindling his romance with former flame Brooke Logan. His return couldn't have been more perfectly timed, as Brooke finds herself at an emotional crossroads following her painful rejection by Ridge Forrester. Nick's reappearance marks Wagner's first substantial return to the show since 2012, with only a brief cameo for the show's 35th anniversary in 2022. Now running Marone Industries as a sophisticated, wealthy shipping magnate, Nick is far from the scruffy sea captain viewers once knew. His transformation reflects not just the passage of time but also his evolution into a more polished, confident businessman ready to pursue what, or rather who, he truly wants. Brooke's heartbreak and vulnerability. The timing of Nick's return coincides with one of Brooke's most vulnerable periods. After months of trying to win back Ridge, who she has long considered her destiny, Brooke faced the devastating reality that Ridge has chosen to build a future with Taylor Hayes instead. This rejection has left Brooke feeling defeated and questioning her worth, especially after Ridge made his commitment to Taylor clear despite their passionate history. The rejection stung particularly hard following a series of events at Forrester Creations that drove a wedge between Ridge and Brooke. Their relationship deteriorated after Ridge sided with his daughter Steffi over Brooke's daughter Hope in a business dispute, creating family tensions that proved insurmountable. By late May 2025, Ridge had made his choice clear, leaving Brooke heartbroken and alone. Even Eric Forrester, who has long supported Brooke and Ridge's relationship, couldn't convince his son to reconsider. Despite telling Ridge that Taylor brought peace, but Brooke brought passion, Ridge remained committed to Taylor, leaving Brooke to face the painful reality that her destiny had chosen another path. Nick's pursuit and promise. Nick wasted no time making his intentions known upon his return to Los Angeles. In their first encounter at Forrester Creations, Nick found Brooke in a vulnerable moment and immediately began turning on his considerable charm. The chemistry between them was undeniable, quickly reminding Brooke of their passionate history together. During their initial conversations, Nick made it clear that he had heard about Brooke's heartbreak and had specifically returned to LA to offer her a different kind of love, one without the constant back and forth she had experienced with Ridge. Nick is coming back because he heard that Brooke's heart is broken, Wagner explained in interviews, noting that his character sees this as an opportunity to rescue Brooke from her toxic pattern with Ridge. In subsequent meetings, Nick promised Brooke something she desperately needed: sincere, unwavering love. Unlike Ridge, who has bounced between Brooke and Taylor for decades, Nick vowed to put Brooke first and love her completely. His sincerity and the stark contrast between his steadfast devotion and Ridge's waffling began to break through Brooke's emotional walls. A new beginning. After several romantic encounters, including a passionate kiss that left Brooke breathless, Nick's persistent courtship began to pay off. Brooke confided in her sister Katie about Nick's return and their growing connection, seeking advice about whether to open her heart again. Though initially hesitant to abandon her hope for a reconciliation with Ridge, Brooke found herself increasingly drawn to Nick's stability and genuine affection. The turning point came when Ridge displayed jealousy over Nick's presence in Brooke's life, yet still refused to leave Taylor. This hypocrisy helped Brooke realize that she deserved better than waiting for a man who wouldn't fully commit to her. In a moment of clarity and emotional courage, Brooke finally agreed to give her relationship with Nick another chance. Their reunion brought a renewed sense of joy to Brooke's life. Nick's unwavering support and romantic gestures reminded her of what it felt like to be truly cherished. For the first time in months, Brooke began to smile again, finding happiness outside the shadow of her tumultuous history with Ridge. The devastating discovery. As Brooke and Nick grew closer, their relationship deepened into something that felt genuine and promising. Nick invited Brooke to accompany him on business trips, including a planned journey to Naples, Italy, where Marone Industries had significant operations. Their future together seemed bright and full of possibilities. However, fate had a cruel twist in store. While helping Nick prepare for an important business meeting, Brooke accidentally discovered medical documents in his briefcase. What she found left her completely shocked and devastated. Diagnostic reports confirming that Nick was suffering from terminal cancer in its final stages. The discovery echoed a storyline from 2011 when Nick had a cancer scare, though that turned out to be a non-cancerous spot on his lung. This time, however, the diagnosis was far more serious and terminal. Brooke was horrified not just by the diagnosis itself, but by the realization that Nick had kept this critical information from her while pursuing their relationship. The confrontation. Unable to contain her emotions, Brooke confronted Nick about his condition and his decision to keep it secret. In a heart-wrenching scene, she demanded to know why he hadn't told her about his diagnosis and why he wasn't pursuing treatment that could potentially extend his life. Nick's response was both devastating and deeply romantic. He admitted that he had received the terminal diagnosis shortly before learning about Brooke's situation with Ridge. Rather than spend his final months undergoing painful treatments with little chance of success, Nick had made the conscious decision to use whatever time he had left to be with the woman he had always considered the love of his life. "I didn't want your pity," Nick explained during their emotional confrontation. "I wanted your love, real love, not clouded by sympathy or obligation. These last few weeks with you have been worth more than months of treatment that would only make my final days miserable." Ethical dilemmas and emotional turmoil. Nick's revelation forced Brooke to confront complex ethical and emotional questions. Was it fair of Nick to pursue a relationship without disclosing his condition? Did his terminal diagnosis change the nature of their reconnection? Most importantly, what should they do with the time they had left? The storyline draws parallels to other soap opera cancer narratives, such as those on Home and Away and EastEnders, where terminal diagnoses have profoundly impacted relationships and forced characters to make difficult choices about how to spend their remaining time. Like those stories, Nick and Brooke's situation raises questions about honesty, autonomy, and what it means to truly love someone in their final days. For Brooke, the discovery created an impossible situation. While part of her felt betrayed by Nick's secrecy, another part understood his desire to experience genuine love rather than pity in his final months. Her anger at his deception competed with her growing feelings for him and her compassion for his situation. Nick's final wish. When pressed about his refusal to seek treatment, Nick made a heartfelt confession that left Brooke torn between anger and profound emotion. He explained that after years of searching for meaning in his life, through business success, various relationships, and even his previous marriages, he had come to realize that his time with Brooke had been his happiest. "All I want is to spend whatever time I have left loving you," Nick told her. "Not hooked up to machines, not suffering through treatments that won't save me anyway. Just being with you, making you happy, and creating memories that you can carry with you after I'm gone." This confession, while romantic, placed an enormous emotional burden on Brooke. She found herself in the position of having to decide whether to walk away from a relationship with an expiration date or to embrace the limited time they could have together. Looking ahead, a bittersweet future. As this storyline continues to unfold on The Bold and the Beautiful, viewers are left wondering how Brooke will ultimately respond to Nick's revelation. Will she stand by him during his final months, creating the meaningful connection he desires? Or will the pain of knowing she'll lose him prove too much to bear? The narrative raises profound questions about the nature of love and sacrifice. It also creates dramatic potential for Ridge's reaction when he inevitably learns about Nick's condition. Will Ridge's jealousy transform into sympathy? Could Nick's terminal illness even push Ridge to reevaluate his choices regarding Brooke and Taylor? Whatever happens, this storyline represents one of the most emotionally complex arcs in recent bold and beautiful history. It transforms what initially appeared to be a typical soap opera love triangle into a poignant exploration of mortality, honesty, and what it truly means to love someone, even when that love comes with an inevitable heartbreak. Next, we're delving into the dark and twisted world of Luna Nozawa on Bold and the Beautiful, where her increasingly sinister actions are pushing boundaries and threatening the safety of her own family. In this extended exploration, we'll unpack Luna's dangerous obsession with her little brother Hayes Forrester, analyze the potential fallout with her grandmother Sheila Carter, and introduce fresh perspectives on how this escalating drama might unfold. Buckle up for a detailed dive into the Forrester family chaos, filled with tension, intrigue, and shocking possibilities. Luna's disturbing descent into darkness. Luna Nozawa's behavior has taken a terrifying turn, and her latest fixation on her younger brother Hayes is sending chills down the spine of every BNB fan. Last week, we witnessed Luna's unsettling mindset as she chillingly suggested that Steffi Forrester could only comprehend her pain by experiencing the agony of separation from a child, a pain Steffi has already endured in her tumultuous past. However, Luna, blinded by her warped sense of justice, fails to grasp the depth of her stepmother's struggles. Instead, she spiraled into a dark obsession, stalking Steffi, Finn, Liam Spencer, and little Hayes as they navigate their daily routines. Her lurking presence has become a silent threat, a shadow cast over the family's every move. Adding a layer of eerie realism to this storyline, the show cleverly reuses a familiar set for Hayes' new art school, located at the beach house once occupied by Liam's brother, Wyatt Spencer. The writers have woven in a poignant backstory, explaining that Hayes' previous art school was tragically lost to the devastating Los Angeles wildfires, prompting Liam to establish this new creative haven by the ocean. The serene coastal setting juxtaposes sharply with Luna's menacing intentions, creating a haunting contrast as she watches Hayes from afar, her mind brewing with dangerous ideas. As the family dropped Hayes off for his art class, Luna's gaze was predatory, her intentions unclear but undeniably sinister. Could this be the calm before the storm? A sinister plot unfolds. This week, the tension escalates as Luna takes a bold and terrifying step closer to Hayes. Under the guise of a caring sibling, she approaches the unsuspecting child during a moment of vulnerability at his art school. With a deceptive smile, she murmurs that she has a special surprise for him, her words dripping with hidden malice. One can only imagine the sinister possibilities racing through her mind. Perhaps she'll claim to be Finn's daughter, his trusted big sister, lulling Hayes into a false sense of security. Or worse, she might weave a lie that his parents have asked her to pick him up, promising a fun adventure while leading him away from the safety of his teachers and guardians. The sheer audacity of Luna's potential plan is chilling. If she manages to isolate Hayes, out of sight from Liam, Steffi, or Finn, she could easily whisk him away under false pretenses. Her fixation on Hayes has grown disturbingly intense ever since she overheard Finn sharing a tender moment with his son, fueling her desire to inflict pain on Steffi by tearing her family apart. Luna's warped logic suggests that if Steffi feels the gut-wrenching loss of a child, she'll somehow empathize with Luna's own twisted grievances. It's a delusional rationale that ignores the reality of Steffi's past traumas, being locked away from her own children in a cage of circumstances beyond her control. Luna's inability to see beyond her own pain paints her as a truly unhinged force, one that poses a grave danger to the Forrester family. Sheila Carter, A Grandmother's Fury Awakens. Enter Sheila Carter, a woman who knows all too well the excruciating pain of being separated from a child. Sheila's own history with Finn is a tapestry of heartbreak. Forced by Jack Finnegan to relinquish her parental rights, she watched as her son was raised by Lee Finnegan, unaware of the true biological ties binding him to Sheila. Despite Lee's deep love for Finn and his recognition of her as his mother, Sheila's longing for her son and grandson Hayes burns fiercely, even though she's been barred from their lives. This makes her a wild card in Luna's dangerous game. If Luna dares to make a predatory move against Hayes, Sheila's reaction could be nothing short of explosive. Imagine the volcanic eruption of rage that would consume Sheila if she learned that Luna had kidnapped Hayes. As a grandmother fiercely protective of her family, despite her own villainous past, Sheila would not hesitate to go to war against Luna. While she harbors an affection for her granddaughter, Sheila is painfully aware of Luna's fractured mental state, a concern she recently confided to Deacon Sharp. The thought of Hayes in the clutches of his unhinged sister would flip Sheila's notorious villain switch back on with a vengeance. We could see Sheila transform into a relentless hunter, tracking Luna across Los Angeles to rescue Hayes and bring him back to safety. The potential for a dramatic confrontation between grandmother and granddaughter adds a thrilling layer of suspense to this already gripping storyline. Allies and enemies in the hunt for Hayes. In a surprising twist, Sheila might not embark on this mission alone. Picture her enlisting the help of Poppy Nozawa, Luna's mother, in a desperate bid to save Hayes. Sheila holds Poppy accountable for Luna's downward spiral into madness, blaming her for the double homicidal rampage and the failed attempt on Steffi's life. In Sheila's eyes, Poppy owes Finn and Steffi a debt of redemption, and aiding in the search for Hayes could be her chance to atone. The dynamic between Sheila and Poppy would be fraught with tension, their uneasy alliance driven by a shared goal but marred by mutual distrust. Their journey could take them through the underbelly of the city, following leads and unraveling clues about Luna's whereabouts, all while racing against time to protect an innocent child. Adding another intriguing element to this saga is Remy Price, a mysterious figure who's been orbiting Luna while maintaining a cordial rapport with Sheila. Remy's ambiguous loyalties could play a pivotal role. Will he aid Luna in her dangerous scheme, or will his connection to Sheila compel him to intervene on Hayes' behalf? His presence introduces an unpredictable variable, one that could either escalate the danger or offer a glimmer of hope for Hayes' safe return. Perhaps Remy holds a key piece of information about Luna's plans, a secret that could tip the scales in this high-stakes drama. The emotional stakes and future fallout. At the heart of this storyline lies a profound exploration of family, pain, and the lengths to which one will go for love or vengeance. Luna's actions, while deplorable, stem from a place of deep hurt and distorted perception, highlighting the tragic consequences of unresolved trauma. Steffi and Finn, already burdened by past separations, face the unimaginable terror of losing Hayes to someone within their own family circle. Meanwhile, Sheila's potential transformation from a shadowy antagonist to a fierce protector underscores the complexity of her character, a woman capable of both great evil and fierce loyalty. As this arc unfolds, the emotional toll on the Forrester family will undoubtedly deepen. If Luna succeeds in taking Hayes, even temporarily, the ripple effects could shatter trust and reshape relationships irrevocably. Will Steffi and Finn find a way to safeguard their son from Luna's grasp, or will they be forced to confront the darkest corners of their family's legacy? And how will Sheila's involvement redefine her place in their lives? Will she emerge as an unlikely hero, or will her actions only fuel further chaos? Welcome back to the edge of your seat with Bold and the Beautiful, where every episode brings us closer to answers, even as new dangers lurk around every corner. Luna Nozawa's descent into darkness threatens to tear the Forrester family apart, but with Sheila Carter and unexpected allies in the mix, the battle for Hayes' safety is only just beginning. Stay tuned as we continue to unravel this captivating saga, and let us know your predictions in the comments below. Will Luna's twisted plot succeed, or will family ties prove stronger than her madness? Until next time, keep watching for more jaw-dropping spoilers.